any other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Seattle Seahawks. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. First carry for Darius Geis. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On 1st down, this is Geis. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a give running left is Geis. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
This is Geis. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They'll run with Geis. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Back to throw, Smith. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is it's still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Wilson. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. After the interception, here's Smith. Escaping the pressure right. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Let's go. Let's go. 15.
Geis. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. Darius Geis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Wilson on 2nd down. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Madden busting through to get him for a loss of 6. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And here come the Redskins now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Hey, back up, back up, back up, back up. Tiger. 12.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. Uncorks one for Davis. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this 1st quarter. Smith very much in control of this Redskins offense early in his tenure in D.C. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
On the ground, Geis. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And he knocks it through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jordan Evans in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a 1st as that leads to 4th down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn into big plays.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. Here's Geis. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. This is Geis on a handoff left. And, he spins past him and into space. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Geis showing he's going to be an important part of this Redskin backfield as he's in there again for first down. On 1st and 10, Smith. Touchdown, Washington. Paul Richardson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
When we drop defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. As remember that.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Jonathan Allen in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Tempo.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Now a toss. This is Geis. And some room to work. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this.
Steiger. 15, yeah.
On first down, it's Smith. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. but instead they'll keep it on second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And his throw here's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Third down, here's Geis. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave him looking at a 4th and 1.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Call it a loss of 8 yards on the play. And it'll be fourth down. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken from just outside the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Redskins will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's Wilson to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. A handoff to Penny, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Redskins who have the lead here. And we will skip the highlight show this week, get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Troy Apke. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. Smith on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now it's Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll take this back down inside the 20. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out of practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Wilson dumps that off to Penny as running back. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And Janikowski bangs it through. And they'll make a small dent in that big deficit as it's down to 27. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
No, right. Yellow. No, right. Yellow.
To throw on second down is Smith. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 36. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
4 down.
On the ground, it's Geis. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw on second down. Smith. And Davis with it left side. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Smith on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Tressway now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Now Wilson looking to throw on second down. He's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So erase the flag. They decline it.
And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil?
Well, I was thinking the 2x2-inch ones that you can buy and use in addition to the pencil.
And those last forever.
A long time.
No doubt.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Wilson. Incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This will be fielded at the 17. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On the NFL scoreboard elsewhere, third quarter down in Arizona. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Smith and the Redskins will come up now, 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard run. Leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. A toss right to Geis. And some space here. And now look at him go. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, 55 yards. And this Redskins offense is running away with this one. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And out now come the Seahawks. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Penny. And he's got room. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
It's complete to Jerome Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now they go with a slant that time, 15 yards at a first. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Penny. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He hits Baldwin right side. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. Into the Redskins' head, and they do. And they're not able to convert on 4th down.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll hand it down to Geis. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
35. Liz.
A shotgun snap for Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them. Likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game. But they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made there by Trayvon Howard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot
14.
at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Madden in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The Redskins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Now a handoff, Geis going right. And he's got some space here. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they just...
And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 24. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Got to be feeling confident they're going to get off the schneid. An old coach told me he calls this a relief win. 0-3 would have been bad. You get to 1-2, you feel a lot better, don't you?
That is so true, and you feel better about yourself. You think to yourself, okay, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're not out of it at 0-3. But the other part, too, it leads to doubt about your system, leads to doubt about your coaches. They don't have to worry about that now. They can move forward.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Hey, we got 3 down.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Let's go. Hey, tempo.
On second down, here's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
That's it, baby. That's it.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Geis receives the pitch. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. A big